Didn't start out as an advertising career. It started out as a career to where I was going to teach English literature, and I wanted to teach at a university level. And it was the University of Utah, and there was a professor named Tim Bankston who was visiting from the Medill School of Advertising, and I took a class called Creativity in Advertising, and he said, "You're the best student I've ever had in 20 years, and you need to go into advertising." And I said, "Oh, I'm going to teach English literature." He said, No, go see these people in New York. So I got in my car and I drove to New York, and that was where I started. I think in truth, I've learned more from my mistakes than I have from my successes. Maybe that's true of everyone, I don't know, but it's certainly true of me. You learn a lot, but you learn a lot over the years by saying, this is what I would do, but this is really what I would not do. As did John McGarry, who would just, I knew it, young and Rubicam. So we just decided at John's apartment on Park Avenue that we would hang out a shingle. And our first meeting was at Verizon. And John coined a phrase which became our phrase, "Give us your biggest problem." The problem with the biggest problem, it's always just a doozy. And in this particular case, it was September 11th, and they had lost employees. They were right across the street from Ground Zero. He asked us if he should do something. Absolutely, you should do something. And he said, "What?" We said, "We don't know, but we'll be back." I went back to the hotel and I wrote an ad, which was entitled Lady Liberty, but the basic idea was to both monumentalize children and to humanize the Statue of Liberty, with children at the base of the Statue of Liberty. We created it, and we took it to his home, and it was that we learned that everyone had canceled their advertising that week. But we sent the spot to the networks, and they said that it was supposed to run once on 60 Minutes, and they had nothing to run. So the lawyers called and said, "Can we run it all week?" We only had to run that entire week. And obviously Verizon was thrilled. They had something like 140,000 employees write in to say, or text or email to say how proud they were to be part of Verizon. I have to be honest about how I grew up, because I came with a personal set of values. I grew up in my particular religious tradition, two things. One, a song we used to sing was, "Do what is right, let the consequence follow." That has tried to be my mantra in the back of my mind. Just do the right thing. By the client, by the consumer, whatever, and let the consequence follow. Number two is I was raised in a tradition where it was an honor to serve. And I've often had to say to our creative people, we're in a service industry. If you don't like servicing, then you need to go be the client, because you should feel grateful that you get to do this, that they have turned the stewardship of their brand over to you. It's an honor and a privilege to do it. And of course it's work. It's called work for a reason. But that said, I've always felt that it was really a privilege and an honor to work with them. And if they could do what we do, we would all be unemployed. So therefore, be grateful. We do get better with age, because, you can just walk in and go, "I've been to that meeting before. I've filled that problem before. I've seen that before. This is how to solve this." You know where the answer is. You may not know what the answer is, but you know where it is, and you know how to get it and how to ferret it out, and how to ferret it out in real time. Because the time frames I used to work on when I started in the industry, they're like so reduced in every kind of way now. So you have to get there quickly. And I think that's number one. Number two, given what I just said, you kind of love what you do. I could have stopped a long time ago, but I love the people. I love the clients. I love seeing a new idea birthed. And I'm not saying it's necessarily my idea. Say, there it is. That's it. And here's how to make it bigger. That's really a thrill. Well, it's hard. And I'll tell you why it's hard. Because again, we're in the service business, and I have often said to our clients, if you treat your creatives or your agency with love and respect, and inspiration comes from love and trust, not from fear. There's only two emotions in the world, Everything else is subset. Children are born with two core emotions, love and fear. It's not hate. They're not born to hate. They don't know what hate is, but they are born to fear. So if you create a fear-based culture, you shut people down. If you create a love-based culture, you open people up. And I think that that is not just within the culture, but it's between agency and client. But I also think we should be the voice of the consumer for our clients.